Minasan konnichiwa, this is Tina and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the eye makeup products that I just can't stop using. If that sounds like your thing, then please go ahead and channel登録しちゃってください. Yes, we have a makeup video today because I have been getting a lot of requests from you guys on how I do my eye makeup and what type of products I use. I have already uploaded a base makeup routine showing how I do my foundation and such to kind of achieve a dewy, glowy look. So if you do want to know that, make sure you check that out because I'm only going to be talking about the eyes today. So I've got my box ready here, but I'm going to be showing you all of my favorite Japanese and Korean eye makeup products while kind of sharing some of my tips and tricks on how I do my eye makeup as well. So let's get into it. So the first category is eyeshadows, and the ones that I have used for the longest time now, probably like close to, if not more than 10 years, the Etude House eyeshadows. They seem to consistently be in my makeup collection, and the reason why I like them so much is because their pigment is just the perfect level. I know people are always like, eyeshadows have to be pigmented, that's what makes them good, but if you're a beginner with eyeshadows, or if you want to go for more subtle looks, pigmented eyeshadows aren't always the best because you lay on too much at once and it is harder to control. So I feel like the Etude House ones are that perfect level where if you just dab a little bit, you get that subtle wash of color, but you can always build up that pigment. They do have quite a few different types of eyeshadows, but their main one is the Look at My Eyes single shadows. I have a ton of them. The good thing about them is you can obviously pick and choose which colors you want. They are very affordable. Even online, I think they're usually under $5 a piece. And then they also do have customizable palettes, which is super cool. I did receive this one. This is like the limited edition cookie chip palette, and this was actually empty, like there was no colors in it. You can kind of pick and choose and pop these shadows off and put it into your own customizable DIY palette, which I think is awesome. The shades that I have been using a lot is the cookie chips range, which is like a kind of limited edition color range they did, and YesL has sent me all of the shades and that's why I use them. I didn't particularly buy them, but they are the perfect set of brown orangey neutrals that I use all the freaking time, so I'm so glad that they sent them to me. And I put in the 4 colors that I use the most. I will kind of pop up which one's which. I don't know if it's that easy to get all of them now because this one is a limited edition one, but you can always have a look at all the different types of colors that they've got in the Look at My Eyes range because they have a ton. I don't know, such an easy, perfect way to get the colors that you want, and if you would prefer them in the single shadows, which is how I've been using it for the longest time, that's totally fine. If that is too much trouble for you and you don't know which colors to choose, the cookie chip palette, that's the pre-made palette, I believe they still have it available, but this one has pretty much the same colors, a nice blend of mattes and then some shimmers in a palette already. So if you do not know which colors to choose, this palette has been really nice and kind of my go-to one for like neutral brown looks. Next, I have the DASIQUE shadow palettes. So I have 2 color palettes here, and I have mentioned them on my channel before, and people said it was really expensive or really hard to get, and it is true. I believe I got one from Olive Young and then the other from Style Korean, and it is a brand that is really popular in Korea, but I feel like hasn't quite popped off globally, and that's why it is really hard to get their palettes. But if you can get your hands on the palettes, they are just so nice. It's the perfect blend of colors that are nice but also kind of unique that you don't see in other eyeshadow palettes, and I just can't stop using them. The first one I got was the Rose Petal palette in number 2. This is always my go-to palette when I want to do a pink look, but it's got such beautiful kind of pink matte shades and then this beautiful glittery pink shade, which I love this shade so much. It's a little intense for people who probably aren't like used to pinks or glitters, but it is so gorgeous, like freaking look at that. And then the other shade I have is the number 1 Sugar Brownie, also a beautiful palette. It does still have that kind of warmness to it, but it's got brown and pink and kind of a little bit of orange in it, and it is the most perfect fall or autumn palette, which I know you guys are going to be going into autumn and fall soon. So if you're looking for that one palette that kind of will give you that trendy autumn look, this one is absolutely beautiful. I haven't used it quite as much, but I'll even dig into like certain colors of the shimmer and pop it into my inner corner to kind of like open that up. These ones just have a beautiful blend of colors that I just keep coming back to. Next, I do have a rom&nd Better Than palette. The specific one that I'm talking about is actually the 00 Light and Glitter Garden. This palette has a mixture of kind of whites to colored glitters, and they do look quite intense in the shade, but the pigment of the color doesn't come out as much as you'd think, which is good, which means you can pop it onto basically any eyeshadows. So at the very end of my eyeshadow process, I will usually grab one of these, a little bit on my finger, and literally just place it right in the middle of my upper lid. I don't rub it around, I literally just dab it on to get a few of those big chunks of glitter. That's going to add to the overall look. The other one that I have is the PEACHC Champagne Eye Glitter. So this one I only got recently, but I absolutely fell in love, and as soon as I got it and started using it, I have not stopped. Again, it is the perfect shade. It is that peachy pinky shade. I feel like they're just so usable. I actually literally just got the other two shades of the PEACHC ones because I just loved it so much. I was like, oh, I love it. I need to get all of the shades. And the applicator is really nice too. But look at them. Aren't they so freaking pretty? Ugh, so pretty. But I did test these out, and this color is definitely the one to go for if you're only going to get one. It's number 2 Valentine Pink. As I said, it has this shimmer throughout the whole product, and then also has chunks of like bigger glitter. So when you put it under the eye, and if you want to do the kind of tear bag or egosal namida bukuro look, this one is really nice because it does have those little bits of shimmers that are going to kind of puff up that area. Compared to these ones, I feel like the chunks of glitter are definitely more noticeable. So if you do want to do little like sparkles or want something that's really like intense in the chunky glitter, these shades are nice. I just do a little bit, usually like to the inner corner and then slightly to the middle. I don't usually go all the way out, but it adds a little bit of color and that shimmer too. And then if you do want extra chunks of glitter, I get a Q-tip and then I grab the little chunks and actually like perfectly place them in the areas I want. So I usually do like 3 to 4 little big speckles of glitter right underneath the eye. And even if the camera doesn't catch it, depending on the angle and the light, like you'll just turn a certain way and that like little glitter sparkles under your eyes, and it just gives that, I don't know, it gives that extra look, that little like, ooh, what is that intriguing look. Next, we are moving on to eyeliner, which is definitely part of like my iconic look. I usually always wear eyeliner. I say I usually always, but I always wear eyeliner. I don't think there's ever a time where I don't wear eyeliner. And the first one I must mention is an absolute favorite staple. It is the HEROINE MAK Smooth Liquid Liner. So these eyeliners, you can't beat them. Honestly, they are super long lasting. They are waterproof. They are a brush tip. They have such a fine tip. Also, they last a long time. Like the actual product, like I swear I could use one for like 6 months and it will still work. Like it just lasts such a long time and is really affordable too. So I don't know, I just have no complaints about this one. I have gone through many pens of this. I do have 2 shades here, the kind of classic deep black, and then the bitter brown is this one here. I have used the bitter brown today, and I have been opting to use browns over blacks these days because it looks just a little bit more natural, not quite as striking, but is still very well defined, and it kind of makes everything kind of meld together really well, especially if you do kind of orange pink looks. The tip on this is also so incredibly fine. You can get the finest kind of wing, and it's good to use on your inner corner as well when you want to kind of accentuate that cat eye look. I also do like to use the bitter brown on my beauty spots, so kind of existing beauty spots I have with the brown as well, and it looks quite natural because it is a deep enough brown, but it's not a really red brown that would look unnatural on the skin. I also love the packaging. Like if this doesn't tell you anything about how waterproof and how long lasting it is, I don't know what will. Motto yoru made utsukushii, which literally means like it's beautiful until nighttime, because it does does last that long. If you do want an even cheaper alternative that is really similar to the HEROINE MAK one, I would definitely recommend the Macqueen waterproof pen eyeliner. I'm pretty sure this one has like 1,000 reviews on YesStyle, but it is usually about $5, I think. It is, honestly, it's just as good. It really is. This one also has a super fine tip. Like, look at that. And honestly, the black might be stronger with the Macqueen one. I think the black color is actually stronger than the HEROINE MAK. So if you want a bold black waterproof fine tip brush liquid liner, the Macqueen one for $5, it can't be beat. And I did test both the HEROINE MAK as well as the Macqueen, and they are both super waterproof. I actually tested on my Instagram stories if you guys remember or saw, but they do not come off. So if you do want a waterproof liner, I would recommend either of those. And the last liquid eyeliner I want to recommend is the Visee Color Impact Liquid Liner. As the name suggests, these ones do focus on color. So they do have their classic blacks and browns and all of that, but they do have other colors which are beautiful, although they are so hard to find online, not gonna lie. I wish I had bought more the last time I was in Japan, but you know, I didn't think we'd be facing a pandemic. I love their light brown for whenever I do orangey brown looks, because it is lighter than your regular browns. They're always a deep brown, which is fine in general, but sometimes you want a lighter one. And look how beautiful that color is. It's like an orangey, warm brick brown that really softens the look, and I just love it. And I've had this for so long, literally like years, I think. I've had it for years and it still works like perfectly fine. So the other one I love is the Burgundy, which I tend to use when I do kind of pink looks. So it has a bit of that mauvey, pinky tint to it that looks really nice on the eye as well. I love both of them. Compared to the other liners, 1, they are harder to access, 2, they are more expensive, and 3, they don't last as long. They're not quite as waterproof. So in that sense, I wouldn't recommend them. But if you do want that pop of color, it is really easy to incorporate them through a liquid liner. CLIO Sharp So Simple Waterproof Pencil Liner. I feel like CLIO is well known for having really long lasting makeup. I feel like that's like a big part of their brand identity, and this does last a long time. Trust me, last a long time. And the shade I have is Maroon Brown. It is a beautiful kind of burgundy brown, I would say. It does draw on very easily, lasts a really long time, and is quite affordable too. Beyond that, I feel like I don't have much to say about it, but it is one that I definitely want to kind of get the other colors of, because it is really easy to use. And the other gel liners that I have been enjoying is the CANMAK Creamy Touch Liner, which I know is already super popular in Japan. They have multiple different colors, but again, I chose these two, which like, I feel like this is always my theme. I do have it in 2 shades, the number 5 and then the number 6, and the CANMAK ones are even finer compared to the CLIO, and that's why I do like them. They have a super fine tip. So if you do want to get into like right into the corner of your eye, or even like on your waterline and stuff, I do find the CANMAK is a little bit easier. The CANMAK is also creamier. It is softer, so when you first apply it and you want to kind of smudge it and wear it kind of like a smudged liner, the CANMAK one I do recommend more, because this one, it dries very quickly, so you can't really smudge it or do much else with it, whereas this one you can play it around with it a little bit, and once it settles, it does last a fairly long time as well. Out of the two, I would say the CLIO has longer lasting power, but the CANMAK is creamier. Con of the CANMAK, I always think it's funny when I see it. All over the packaging, they have these like these yellow warning signs, right? And basically it says that if you wind it up, you cannot wind it down. You'll be like, oh yeah, and just like keep clickety, and you can hear it. Maybe you can hear it. You can hear that click, right? Once you click it up, like you literally, it does not wind down. So be careful that you don't get too much out. But yeah, get the colors that you will use and you like, you know? All right, lastly, we've got lashes, which again is really important part of my look. I like really long lashes, I must say. I go for length more than volume. I first want to talk about mascara bases, which is only something that I've started using literally in the last year, but it has changed my life. So if you don't use a mascara base or a mascara primer, I highly recommend. The first one is the Heroine Make Curl Keep Mascara Base. I would say this one is definitely made for the Heroine Make mascaras, and why I say that is because they are actually fibrous. So they do have little fibers in it that actually latch onto and build onto your lashes, and when you first apply it, it honestly looks like mascara. It's like slightly blue tinted for some reason, and it just kind of builds that base of adding fibers and lengthening your lashes. And when you put the mascara on top of this, oh my goodness, you get really, what's the word, wispy looking elegant lashes. And I basically don't put on their mascara without using this base, especially if you have short, thin, classic Asian lashes. Like, trust me, a mascara base will make the biggest difference. Whenever I use them, I make sure to curl my lashes first and then apply the base, and then basically apply the mascara as soon as you can after you apply the base, because it does dry, and once it dries, it can be a little harder to apply the mascara smoothly or without clumps. So this one I definitely recommend using with fibrous mascaras, which I know not everybody loves, and if you don't like fibers in your mascaras, I recommend using this mascara base, which is the Pmel Essence Mascara Base. This one is more a gel type formula. As you can see, it doesn't have any fibers or anything in it, but it uses a gel essence to kind of coat your lashes, to kind of build up the thickness, to separate them and get them ready for your mascara. And this one I find works better with regular mascaras, so mascaras that don't have a fiber, just like a regular liquid mascara. Fibrous, this one; non-fibrous, this one, okay? On that note, I will introduce my favorite mascara. It happens to be a fibrous mascara, but my absolute favorite mascara is the Heroine Make Long and Curl Mascara Advanced Film. So I have talked about this one multiple times, and I have posted on my Instagram even saying that it is literally holy grail, must have, number one mascara for short thin lashes. If you want to lift as well, it does everything. They build up that length, they kind of add a little bit of volume as well, and they do keep your lashes lifted for the whole day. I have heard some people say that even this one doesn't lift it all day, and my tip is that once your mascara is fully dry, now I say fully dry, you can even touch those lashes and see if they are dry, because if they're not fully dry, this is not going to work. But once your lashes are dry, re-curl your lashes with an eyelash curler. I always do this, and it gives the kind of final pop for your lashes. It makes your eyes really open, it lifts them, and it will make them last all day. So if you haven't tried it already, please try it. But once again, I forewarn you that you cannot do it if your mascara is wet, because there is a chance that it will pull out your lashes. So please wait until they are dry, because I'm not going to be blamed for you losing your eyelashes. That is the tip I give for having those open, lifted lashes all day, and these really do last all day. They do actually have a mascara remover made by them, because it is so hard to remove, but I highly recommend using that if you find it difficult to remove these mascaras. The alternative for this mascara is the CANMAK Quick Lash Curler. This is another one that I've been using for a really long time, and as you can see, I have basically bought all the colors. I think these are all the colors. So affordable. It is CANMAK. I'm pretty sure they retail for like 600 yen, some ridiculous price in Japan. These do not have fibers in them, so they work really well with the Pmel mascara base, and they are again another one that is really long lasting, separates your lashes really well compared to the Heroine Make. I feel like the Heroine Make makes more like wispy, elegant lashes, whereas the CANMAK is more defined. The thing I love about them is they have more color variety. The Heroine Make, I love the brown. I use the brown all of the time, but they've only got brown or black, that's it. Whereas the CANMAK, they have this beautiful burgundy color, they have this orangey color, and I love using it for a pop of color on my lashes. And whenever I wear it, I swear someone always comments on it. They're like, are your lashes purple, or like, are your lashes orange? I'm like, yeah, they are. I have got a couple other mascaras recently because I feel like I need to explore a little more, especially Korean mascaras. I haven't tried that many. These I just keep keep coming back to. I feel like I just kept talking in this video because I was really excited to be talking about makeup for once, but I really hope you guys enjoyed it and got a little bit of an insight into the eye makeup products that I use and how I do my eye makeup. I don't know if I really talked about how I do my makeup all that much, but I really still hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do want to see my makeup base routine, it is right here, and then another video you should check out. Please click one of those and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!